Today we're going to look closer at making fire when everything is wet. I'm going to show you some of the classic tricks. My name is Matti. I'm working as a nature guide and dog musher up in northern Sweden. I run a small lifestyle company together with my girlfriend and partner Stina. We also make this kind of content for YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and so on. So, October is probably one of the roughest period up in the northern Sweden. The temperature have dropped and things don't really dry again. Things that are wet, they continue to be wet because you need a little bit higher temperature to make the air more dry. So the air is totally damp with water and yeah, things that get wet, they will be wet. That includes the firewood. As you know, it's many different kind of trees with different qualities, and that also gives the firewood different qualities. This tree is a pine tree. This bark is very thick and it protects the tree from forest fire. Normally here the forest fire was going over the area every 100 years more or less. But most of the pine trees survive a forest fire if it's not a really heavy forest fire. Some of these pine trees in northern Sweden can be up to 800 years old. And then you see they are like this on the top. They are flat on the top when they get older. And the pine tree have a lot of resin inside it. And when the resin goes out to branches, it goes to the root, it goes to the stump and so on, then it's impregnated. And this resin is like oil, it's burning really well. And it also protects the wood from getting wet. So sometimes you find something like this. This is the root of a pine tree. And this one contains a lot of resin. And it's really good if you want to start a fire. So now I am a little bit in a hurry because the sun is going down and I want to film when it's still kind of light. But I find a good route here. So actually what I'm doing now is taking up this straight from the ground, and it is soaking wet on the outside, but inside it looks like it's enough good wood so I can make a cup of coffee. So what I have here is actually a root from a pine tree, and the roots are always very well impregnated with this resin. And when I smell on these ones, the pieces I'm breaking out, it smells turpentine. And if you look at this one, you can, some places here, this is not the absolutely best fatwood, but you can see that it's really full of turpentine, not turpentine, it's full of resin there. So, and when I touch it, I also feel it's a little bit greasy, almost greasy. Not greasy, but almost. So, really good firewood. So what I do when I make fire, I usually put two pieces on each side, and then I want the fire in the middle of them. And if you want to see a video about the knives, we have made a video about different types of knives. You find a link somewhere in this video. So what I do, really tiny. So you see. It's always good to make some extra firewood for starting, and you start with something small like this. Small and then bigger and bigger. Now I just want a cup of coffee, so then I just make 1 cup. This pine tree firewood have some good sides. One of the good sides is that it's burning very good and it gives this yellow flame. It's not absorbing water, so you can use it all around the year. It have warm yellow flames. A downside with this is that you get very dark smoke and all the pots get pitch black, and if you have a chimney you had to clean the chimney from a stove more often, because it's a lot of stuff that's stuck there. If you barbecue a sausage on this fire, the sausage will get black. There is other firewood where you actually can put the sausage straight onto the glow and it will just be a nice barbecued sausage. But that's a different kind of firewood that we use more during the summer. But maybe that's another video about that kind of firewood. Now I will have my coffee. Another thing I really can recommend if you come to Sweden is Daim. I'm not sponsored by them, luckily. I don't think I want to be sponsored by them, because then I will gain too much weight. But it's a kind of caramel, hard caramel covered with chocolate. And this is so good together with coffee. So, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for leaving comment. See you next video. Ciao!